Welcome back to AniPeeps, your go-to destination to all things anime and manga related. I'm one of your co-hosts, Boom. Along with me today, as always, the boys Boggs, Benny, and Mighty Mo. How you guys feeling today?
Doing good. Thanks for asking.
Man, fantastic, brother.
I'm not gonna ask how I'm feeling, huh? It's kind of cold.
Not today. Not today.
You good, bro?
As you guessed it from the title, we're gonna be doing a manga review today on a manga series that I think all three of us have enjoyed. It is called Goodbye Eerie by Tatsuki Fujimoto. Same creator as Look Back and Chainsaw Man, right, boys?
Mm-hmm.
I guess before we even start talking about it, how do you guys feel about the overall manga? Fans of it? Not fans of it?
I'm a big fan of it. I liked it a lot. That was really fun.
Nice.
Yeah. Really interesting, visually very appealing, and just overall trippy.
Gotta put this bad boy up. Yeah, and then
Seems to be kind of the themes of his one shots, but
like Mo said, it is a one shot, and I guess just to give a quick summary of like the plot of the manga, the story begins with Yuta, a young boy dealing with the imminent death of his mother. His mother asked him to record her final days on video, resulting in Yuta filming her journey throughout her sickness. Yuta's mother is portrayed as cheerful and optimistic on camera, but off screen, we do see her more darker side, more complex side, revealing the pressure Yuta had to capture only the positive sides of her. And I do have some cool pictures here. Of course, we do. Oh, this is not it. I think when I was reading it, I was kind of confused because you see this scene right off the bat, and you don't know it's like him recording. You know what I mean, for the actual movie. So I was like so confused. I didn't know how this was to go, and then you get to this scene right here. But yeah. I think this is when they showed it to his classmates, right?
Yeah, like some festival or something like that. Is like his homemade movie.
And there was negative feedback, right? Because his mom actually did die, but the way he portrayed it was like a joke almost,
Yeah, it did not get good reviews at all. Bad reception.
But I thought it was like more real, you know what I mean? Because like if you're a young kid, you don't know how to deal with your your mother's passing. This is how he chose to deal with it. But
Yeah, that's a good point too, because I mean this series kind of dives into that theme of like how to deal with kind of loss, and like you said, that's kind of his way of dealing with it. And also to your point earlier of like the confusing part, I think that's one thing I really liked about this manga is just reading it you're kind of questioning if what you're reading. A lot of times, it's like pretty set up visually with kind of like the horizontal panels and kind of like the shifting camera shift, like the characters become double lined, so you're looking at things through the camera. But there's a lot of times where you don't know, like this one with the first explosion, whether it's reality or part of the movie. So
dude, I was like super confused, especially with this part, because I think if I do remember correctly, it didn't show anything about the movie. It showed this, and then went to this panel right afterwards, dude.
yeah, and it's such a change of pace from the mundane things he would be recording. Not mundane, but like everyday life kind of thing.
Like where everything was like
including a lot of his mom.
like everything was actually happening, but this was obviously didn't happen. This was
Yeah,
the made up part of the story.
pretty epic.
But because of this, we do encounter what I think is becomes the more juicy part of the story, right? After this, of course, he showed it to his classmate, and it was met with harsh criticism. I think they found it like tasteless and mocking almost of his mother's death, which Yuta felt overwhelmed, and he contemplated ending his own life until he met, of course, Yuri, right? Eerie. He said Eerie.
Harry. Yeah.
Harry.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He was about to jump. He was ready for it. She was like, "Hey,
I wish
you gonna do it?"
I wish I included that scene too, because it was kind of trippy. It almost made it seem like when you're reading it, he's moving, because it showed like two panels where it's like he's about to jump and the ground was kind of moving, which I thought was pretty epic. But then he, of course, this scene, I love it, man. I love, because while I was reading this, obviously I read it after Chainsaw Man and Look Back. The character look and the haircut especially looks just like the Look Back girl, man. I was shook. I do love her character design as well. Let me see here. I think this is after they met. I think they went straight into what her goal was. Does anybody want to explain what her goal was, Boggs or Mo?
What do you mean her goal?
Like
I
her.
mean, I guess, but yeah, I guess she liked his film, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, she really ended up liking his film, and so she wanted to do one of her own, and she asked him to start filming him. Um, and it's kind of trippy too, because it shows her being a lot of a normal girl, but then a little bit of like fantasy elements of her potentially being a vampire, which kind of leads towards the end of, I mean, kind of blurring the lines of what's fiction or not. But um, even too, like the part where she goes to visit the dad.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
At the dinner table, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cause she was like only one of the people that actually enjoyed his movie, right? If I do remember correctly.
Yeah, she liked it a lot. So, and then she kind of asks him to do the same thing.
Because midway
Uh,
through, I think she told him that she also has an illness, right? And she wants to be
yeah.
memorized or immortalized, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her
Which also
legacy on
kind of
film.
becomes a big theme towards the end when, uh, you know, at the very end when we see our main character older, he revisits the area they go to, and she kind of talks about some of that, which we could talk a little bit more about later.
Yeah, I'm still kind of confused on that, so we're talking majority about that one, man. I know when they first get to this, what would you call it, warehouse or abandoned place, right? I think they're like Yuri, her like what is it? I wouldn't say like not goals, but made you to watch like so many movies, right? Just for him to get better. I just loved all the scenes where it's like I think it was a couple pages where it's just this page, but it just you can see a time lapse happening. They're just watching movies nonstop, man. I really liked how the author did that as well.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the author himself is a huge film nut, so might be kind of the reason why maybe like the chainsaw opening had a bunch of film references in there. Not
Mm.
sure if there's any relation to that, but yeah, no, it's and like we get a lot of these like very, I guess, still scenes where it's pretty much essentially the same images you show, which I really like, like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of these scenes where the horizontal panel right below it will be pretty much the same picture with the characters sitting at a slightly different angle. And I think that really kind of helps, like, does a great job of kind of capturing, uh, I guess, the vibes there and the transition of time. They're just sitting there enjoying the movie. Because I think Eddie also says, like, she just likes to quietly watch a movie. She doesn't like talking while watching a movie and all that stuff. So,
And especially in the beginning, it's just a lot of mystery with it, right? And I think Mo said that too, but the like the vampire aspect too. But this is like one
mm,
of my favorite quotes. It's in the same setting. She turns to him and says, "This man, this what her they want her, she wants her own film to be this." You know what I mean? And this
yeah,
does tie
yeah,
in with like one of the last scenes in her movie, which is pretty epic, man. Which I'll show later on, but
yeah. She says that at the end of her film, right? Like
yeah,
her,
yeah. I guess I'll show it right
yeah,
now, but it's pretty epic. I think it's this one right here. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Dude, yeah. Got me goosebumps, man, just looking at it, man.
This is like Inception of like a film within a film within a film, and I guess that also kind of leads to the ending because it's a pretty open up to interpretation kind of thing. Like there are no wrong answers, so
I
like whether you believe everything was just one big movie or
mm-hmm.
but
Oh.
because I
Well,
mean I feel like this part kind of hints at it because I mean it's still at the school.
oh, you're saying
um
okay, I get what you mean. You're not saying they went back here to show the movie. It was just all the same movie.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I got you. Which, uh, Dude, I think if it would have ended here, I would have liked the manga too. You know what I mean? Without
Yeah,
the
yeah.
that's what
I
I
mean,
thought, man. I was kind of
I
shook.
really, really like the ending for which I guess we'll get to, but I was talking to
Yeah.
my brother about it too, and uh he liked how crazy it was as well.
Dude, I thought this was gonna be the ending. It was like a sad moment, you know, kind of like
Yeah.
a Asano esque, you know. But yeah, that was one of my. Let me pull it up again. That was one of my favorite quotes. Just cause like you've seen it at the end, you know, it just connects. It just shows how much Yuta respected her, right? Then you get all
Hmm.
the happy moments with them. Um, of course, one of my favorite one pictures right here, man.
Yeah, and seeing their relationship kind of blossom
Mm-hmm.
through the lens of the cameras, like exceptionally done in the manga.
But
It's
also
just
as
like
a,
very di not dialogue heavy,
it
Uh,
it's like mostly pictures.
show
You know
but
what I
don't
mean?
tell. Yeah, or show but don't say. I forgot
That
how the
means
saying
something
is,
else.
but
Dog.
show don't
Don't
tell.
tell.
Yeah, yeah,
Wait, what?
show don't tell.
Oh,
Show don't tell. That's what
thought
it
you were
is.
talking about something else. I'll tell you off air.
Okay, okay.
And two, right? Like he didn't when they first started making the movie together, he didn't know she was ill. And
Hmm.
then after she collapsed at the beach, like he even went into a moment of doubt, like
Right in the
knowing
scene
that she might be dying soon. Like he didn't want the movie to be a repeat of what happened with his mom.
with the
Um,
criticism and stuff like that, right? He wanted to
yeah,
make
the
it better.
criticism and yeah. And I mean, he even did get criticism too, right? From one of her friends saying like that that isn't really the real Eddie. Um,
Yeah.
which I mean, I think that's his real Eddie, right? Like she said that to him, but I mean, I guess we only see the good sides of her too. But
Yeah. And where was it at? I think when Boggs was talking about, I just lost it. When you talking about it, Boggs with the pictures and stuff, I was going to mention something, but I totally forgot what I was about to say. Um, I guess we can start talking about the ending too. Because I have no idea what it means, dude. I'm still to this day confused, man. Because you know when he comes
Again,
back,
yeah.
like he comes back to this setting scene, right? To this place, right?
Mm.
And she's there, man. Why is she there? Is it
Well, I mean,
vampire?
again, I think it's just like up to interpretation at that point. Like for me, I just thought of it as just one big movie. Like everything we saw was a movie kind of thing. At least that's how I saw it. Maybe it's a pretty dumb take and easily uh
So this
easy to
scene's a movie
disprove,
too, is
but
you're saying?
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I mean, if it weren't for it ending with the explosion, then you could think that that was reality. But the fact that the volume ends with him leaving their the warehouse or whatever
Yeah,
in an explosion, it just makes you question, yeah, like is the explosion just in his head, him ending that arc with him in his time with Eddie, or
yeah.
yeah, was this all just one big movie? And yeah, I agree. It is confusing, but I mean, I do like Boggs's interpretation. I didn't think about it too much in that way, but
How
a
did you
movie
think about
within
it,
a
Mo?
movie. No, I mean, like I said, I think I took it as more of a symbolism of him leaving that
Like
past
closing that
behind.
Oh, okay, okay,
chapter.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think I wanted to believe that yeah, she's a vampire. She's like an immortal girl who, finds someone to watch movies with. And she ended up being able to make her own movie with Yuta, but and I think Yuta just likes explosions, so he wanted to
I mean,
include
cause
that.
that's kind of his style, like
Yeah.
that's kind of his pizzazz. Which I think, like personally, I think the final panel's pretty much the best in the book. Just a two-page, epic explosion once again. Yuta's signature thing,
Explosion.
kind of like Tarantino's feet thing, but for him, it's explosions.
I don't know why, but When I first read it, dude, I was more so on Mo thing, but I thought it was just him coming back when he was older, and then the vampire stuff was just all in his head. You know what I mean? He was just saying goodbye to that part of his life, but that like she was gone, she was dead already, and things like that. That's what I thought. Maybe he was just making a movie about himself. I don't know what I was thinking, but I get what you're saying, Mo. But he's trying to close that chapter in
That
his life, you know.
yeah, and I mean that could be true too. Is that
It's
she
up
could
to
be
whatever you think,
actually
right?
there, or she might not even actually be there, and that's all
In
made
his
up in
head.
his mind too.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I mean, the
dude.
big part is it's like very thought provoking. Yeah, this is an awesome panel.
Mm.
Yeah, super thought provoking and I don't know, just done really well. Super easy to read too, especially because it's a very visual one.
And it's one volume, so a nice
hmm
short
Packs
but
a
good.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it packs a lot in it. Cause I mean, I don't think we even talked about stuff like, or maybe you guys did, but it was when my mic cut out. But like his mom, his dad ended up filming his mom's final moments, and she says like, "What a useless kid," because
Yeah, dude, that was
uh,
sad,
he,
man.
yeah, and that kind of adds to his kind of I guess PTSD trauma kind of he has to deal with.
You do feel bad for him too, man. He, he, dude, for real, why explosion, man? An epic
Dude,
walk away,
epic, man, so epic.
dude, for real. He's got a weird it's his Tarantino thing, dude. That's his trademark.
I mean, like, imagine being the students watching that. It's like a sad,
Oh,
somber, like short film you're watching. Actually, not short. He said he had like hundreds of hours that he pieced together, but and then it just suddenly ends in an explosion. Goodbye, mom.
is this epic? I just made these two connections. You know, in the beginning, he's running away from the explosion. He didn't know how to deal with his emotion, but then he does know how to deal with his emotions, so he walks away. That epic. Yeesh, did I just figure this manga out, fellas? Yeah, not the
You
first
you
one.
might you might be onto some.
Dude, for real, man. Is that what this whole manga is supposed to be about?
Perhaps, perhaps.
But that's why this manga is so good, man. It gets you thinking. That's epic, huh?
No, yeah, I think that's like a big appeal to it. It's allows for discourse.
Yeah, and then of course the art's gonna be amazing. You know what he did for Look Back and Chainsaw Man and everything like that. You know it's gonna be really good art. But yeah, who's you guys' favorite characters in this manga? Please, somebody to tell me this guy.
I mean, it's kind of hard to pick, but I mean,
I guess there's
both of
only
them.
two
But
main ones, right?
yeah,
Dude, his father. Mm.
I mean, the father's cool. I think he did his best to help him cope with it, and even like that whole scene where like him and Eddie are kind of like getting into it. Like I was kind of like, oh shit, like they're really arguing, and then turns out that was a little skit that they were doing. Remember which part I'm talking about?
Yeah. Sorry, I had a cough, so I muted my mic real quick. No,
Oh
yeah.
no, no, you're good.
My fault, man. Keep.
But so I mean, the dad himself too was just trying to like figure out how to deal with it. So
Yeah, because I think in the beginning we all said like, just because he's dealing with his mother's death, Yuta doesn't know how to deal with it, dad doesn't know how to deal with it, and then obviously I feel like the whole manga was trying to show how he deals with it, whether he does it. Cause at the same time, Yuri might be a fake person, right? We don't know. It could just be like Boggs was saying, just a movie, right? Yeah. Anything you
yeah, a
guys?
lot, a lot of questions to unravel. Uh, but might require a few reads to, you know, get a completely new
Yeah,
interpretation
I look, you
to
might
it.
reread this today,
mm.
man. Only one volume too. How many do you guys just read it one time? I'm guessing too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I only read it once.
Anything you guys want to add
Yeah.
before we end another one?
No, definitely. I mean, I'm sure if you made it this far, you definitely read it already. But if you didn't and listen to this spoiler filled review, definitely give it a quick read.
Yeah. And if not a reread, I feel like this is one of those that there's something you can pick up every time you read it again. Kind of like with us just talking about it, there are some things, we thought about differently after talking about it again. So, um, reread it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out.
See ya.
Peace.